I'm also reading this. This is Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. This was a suggestion that you guys left on YouTube on one of my other videos by Cormac McCarthy. I mean, I started reading it. I'm not that far into it, but I know as soon as you pick it up, you're like, this is clearly some Cormac McCarthy's novel. So it can be a blessing or a cursing depending on where your allegiance lie with Cormac McCarthy, but in my case, it certainly is a blessing. I have some French-speaking novels, so just some old books. I might read them one day. Who knows? Jacques-Christophe Granger is a great thriller writer. I know that Flight of the Storks and The Purple Rivers are available in English, so you should definitely check it out. This is Christine Bruyère. She's my favorite French author. She's a French-Canadian author. And a lot of her novels are, how do you call that? A lot of her novels are investigation novels, like a police officer, and they have, they're by this great detective called Maud Graham. So I'm right now doing an anthology of all, because like all of this is with that character. And so far I've reviewed the first one, Le Poison dans l'eau. So if you can understand French, you can definitely keep an eye out for this series that I'm going to try to keep going for the whole year. This is just some other children's novels. La Côte d'Échelle is one of my favorite publishing house, and recently they had a warehouse sale where a lot of their old books, aka the books that I grew up with, they were having like a sale to sell those. So I was able to get my hands on some of those old books, more for fun and just for the, like I wanted to have them more than, oh, I might read them again one day, you know, it's for the fun of having those books. In here, I have all the books that the friends I've loaned me that I have to read. Some are in French, like these two. Some are in English, like Jane Slayer. But I would like to read the like Jane Eyre first, and then read this to see just how it compares. And here is all of my Harry Potter's novel. I started reading in English the fifth one, The Order of the Phoenix. That's actually the first book I've read in English, and then I kept on buying them in English, and then throughout the years I bought the rest of the collection with the same artwork and in hardcover, just so that it can just be like neatly displayed here. This is The Tales of the Beale and the Bard, which is the charity book that J.K. Rowling released. It was great. This is not mine, enough said. And The Hunger Games I've reviewed on this channel. And I had the second and third book, but I gave them away because I'd rather kept them as ebooks. So I have them as ebooks, but the first one here, the original one, The Hunger Games, was given to me as a gift. So I decided to keep it. It's such a great book. Can't wait for the sequel. Here it's just good old English novel, like drama, just big old drama. The Fall of Giants by Ken Follett. I started reading. I told my mother, my God, this is so great. You need to buy it. Start reading it. So she bought it. She started reading it. And then she's like, you know what? I did not finish it. And then I said, I'm no better. I did not finish it. I usually always finish a book when I start reading it. This is one of the very rare exceptions. Dallas. Oh my God. Did you know that the series was based on this book? I probably paid like 50 cents for this at Salvation Army. And I mean, it's great. It's just fun, campy, light summer read. Oh my God, you should pick it up. It's fun. It's fun. Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I bought it the day it came out, and I haven't read it yet. Shame. Just some short novels. Thinking Out Loud by Anna Quinlan. I reviewed this. You can check it out. She was a writer for the New York Times, and she was a columnist, and this is all of her columns put into one book. And it's, she was a columnist in the late 80s, 90s, so it has a lot of the women's right movement, and like during the first Bush administration. And you know, it's just great to see how things have changed and not changed at the same times. I have another Memoirs of the Geisha copies. The First Wives Club. Oh my god, this is so great. If you watch the movie and you like the movie and you think the movie was perfect, do not pick up this book, because this is the original book and it's way more trashy, way more inappropriate. Let's just say that if this had been made into a movie, it would have been a very strong rated R movie, as opposed to the very light and fluffy sort of a PG movie that came out of it. Wonder, a friend lent it to me, haven't read it. Once a Runner, I picked it up because it was cheap, but I haven't read it. Is it any good? And Eddie Wiesel, The Night Trilogy. Oh my god, this is so great! This book haunted me for a long time. I reviewed this. The Night Trilogy is where you can find in one book those 3 novels by the author. If you don't want to pick up the Night Trilogy and you only needed to read one of those 3, it has to be Night. It's perfect. It is about one's survival of the Holocaust. It's heartbreaking and at the same time a great example of courage. It's great. Here are just some other great novels, but they're mostly, well, they're both in French and English. The Da Vinci Code, which was great. Hannibal, great, I guess. This I have not read. This is my boyfriend's. I picked this up because I like the Da Vinci Code, but I haven't read it. How great is this title? I only picked it up because the title says 36 Argument for the Existence of God. I was like, I'm in. And it was only $5. This Betrayers of World just seemed like a great cover, and it was I bought this during this year Boxing Day, as well as with this book. I mean, come on, it's fuchsia velvet. I wanted that. I haven't read any of the Peter Straub novel. I have this one, which is called Mystery. Is it any good? I also picked up this Woolfield Poultry Collective. I haven't read. Kill My Love, which was like a buck at Salvation Army. It's great. It's about a story of a guy going mad. Tom Clancy, I have not read. Michael Christian, Turbulences. A great thriller about judicial system. You know, it's in the vein of John Grisham, I found. Wonderland Avenue, Whodunit, and Histoire de la Poussière, which Tammy Hogg was a great, how would you say, a detective novel, once again. I have my Stephen King over here. I love Stephen King, hands down, favorite and best English speaking author. I haven't read Leslie's Story. Was it good? Cell I read was great. Salem, great. Shining, great. This is The Dark Tower. I've read it all in French. At one point, I would like to read it from the beginning, but this time in English. Under the Dome, which I've reviewed. I'm so excited for the series coming up. If you have not read it, read it. And the TV series seems to be very different. I'm intrigued. And of course, Dolores Claiborne over here. So, a great novel, strong female character. He's one of the great authors who can write for both men and women. So, good for him. So, there you have it. My bookcases tour. So, help me. What should I read? Let me know in the comments. Bye!